Hi, my name is Maya Moultrie, and today we're going to talk about the changing landscapes. And I put this picture here because it's showing two different landscapes. I thought it was pretty cool. Oops. Sorry, guys, my slides. So, weathering and erosion. So, weathering happens when plants break up rocks with their growing roots. Our plant acids help dissolve rock. And once the rock has been weakened, it's broken up by weathering. It is ready for erosion. Erosion happens when rocks and sediments are picked up and moved to another place by ice, water, wind, or gravity. And here's just a picture here. And the examples I chose, the first one for physical weathering, it was in Iceland. And frost wedging is frost wedging was the form of physical weathering that damaged this rock here. And frost wedging is a form of physical weathering that involves the repeated freezing and thawing of water in areas with extremely cold weather. So as you can see in this rock, it broke it in half. And then chemical weathering, this was actually in Arizona. This rock has been chemically weathered by water seeping into its cracks and joints. You can see here. And how folds or faults form in crustal rocks. So faults form in rocks when the stresses overcome the internal strength of the rock, resulting in a fracture. And a fold can be defined as a bend in rock that is the response to compressional forces. Folds are most visible in rocks that contain layering. And on this slide, I showed a picture of a fold, as you can see here. And the fault I chose was the San Andreas Fault. And the San Andreas Fault is a continental transform fault that extends roughly 1,200 kilometers through California. And here is a picture of the fault here. And which type of glacier do you think changes the landscape more? So I felt like continental glaciers would change the landscape more because they are continuous masses of ice that are much larger than alpine glaciers, and they can cover so much land, depending on what climate you're in. I think, but this is one here in central Iceland. It's really big. And where deserts are located on Earth. So most large deserts are found away from the coast in areas where moisture from the ocean rarely reaches. And deserts on Earth exist at 30 degrees latitude because of warm air, calm winds, and virtually constant areas of high pressure forming in the atmosphere above. These deserts experience dry and hot conditions year round and see plenty of sunlight, little wind, and very little precipitation. This area of desert land forms in the areas of latitude 30 degrees north to 30 degrees south of the equator. And here in this picture, you see the different, you see the different, sorry guys, this is being weird. Okay, so you see the different deserts here. Sahara, Arabian, Australian, Sonoran, a couple more. And coastal characteristics. So I noticed the things that caused the most damage were coastal erosion, coastal transportation, and deposition. And coastal erosion is the wearing away of the land by the sea, which often involves destructive waves. Coastal transportation is the movement of material in the sea and along the coast by waves. And deposition is when eroded material is dropped by constructive waves. And here I just added up a few pictures to explain, coastal areas. And an example would be coastal flooding, but I do have a video I want to show. Give a better As you can see, it's pretty flooded out here. This is in Boston. Let's skip through a little bit. So the streets are completely flooded.
How deep was that? Too deep?
But you guys can And here is my website. Thank you.